We've all heard the pen is mightier than the sword. I've seen in prison the ability to writing not only to transform individuals but situations. In maximum security prisons, Leavenworth, San Quentin, Sing Sing, people stand in different areas of the yard. They're called courts for courtyards. And so you'll have different groups that kind of hang out, and no one crosses into anybody else's court without permission. It's a quick way to get killed. And I wrote a play. And the way I wrote the play was that I had done some agitprop kind of guerrilla theater when I was in the Panthers. And I was sitting in the big yard one day, and I had first gotten there to Leavenworth, and there's the Mexican Mafia, the Aryan Brotherhood, the Black Guerrilla Family, you know, guys doing 25, 50, 100 years, life sentences. And an old guy named Mr. Cody came and approached me, and he was a black prisoner who had been in prison for a long time and was from New Orleans and ran a lot of the wars in New Orleans. And he came up and he said, "Hey, young blood, heard you did them plays and things on the outside." I said, "Yes." I wonder how how he knew that, because everybody knew the Black Panther stuff. And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Uh-huh," and he just walked away. And I thought maybe I violated the convict code, because the convict code is, don't steal from another convict, don't rat on another convict, do your own
and
time.
Don't write plays.
Yeah. The next day he comes back with the two biggest black guys in the joint. I'm reading a book, and all of a sudden the sun eclipsed, and I looked up and there's these big guys. And he said, "Young blood, about them plays." And I said, "Oh boy, here it comes, I'm in trouble." He said, "Why don't you write something for Black History Month?" I done checked it with the warden. So I went to the library. No, he asked me to do a play for Black History Month. So I went to the library. That's how I started writing plays. And I went to the theater section. And there was only one black play. It was A Raisin in the Sun. There were only two black plays in the sections, right? The whole theater section. Romeo and Juliet, Raisin in the Sun. And I'm reading this and tears come to my eyes. And not because Lorraine Hansberry's words are just so beautiful, but because there's women characters, Because I'm going to put this play on. I said, "Mr. Cody, this play, the only play I found has women in it." You said, "That's all right. Just look on the yard, pick out 3 or 4 dudes. We'll put a dress on them." I went back to my cell and I started writing. And Mr. Cody gave me my cast. He had aspirations of being a producer. You guessed it. It was the two big black guys struck by death. So we're rehearsing. And as we're rehearsing, into the middle of our rehearsal comes the two leaders of the Mexican Mafia, La M. Now, these guys were already doing life, and they had about 5 more murders since they were in prison. And everybody had the same thought. La M has left their court. Who are they here to kill? Mm-hmm. And I'm rehearsing with these guys, and, we're all trying to, now the guys are into it. Before they were ignoring me. It was like, "Okay, Jamal, I'm into it. Look, I'm a tree. I'm a palm tree." And the guy, Raphael, after about 10 minutes, he jumps up, and he's real upset. And he comes to me. He was like, "Yo, Holmes, can I speak to you a minute?" I was like, "Oh, shit, here it comes." He says, "Yo, man," he says, "I've been sitting here for about 10 minutes. And I've been watching you work, Holmes. There's no secret in the joint. And I'm going to tell you something, man. That guy you're working with, that effing guy, Holmes, he's not feeling his character." So I said, "Why don't you join?" He joined. I had to rewrite the play. The next day, the Aryan Brotherhood sent their lead guy up, right? He comes back to the Aryan Brotherhood court, and they were like Big Red, and Big Red was like a 5th-degree black belt. They said, "What happened? What was the blacks and Mexicans doing?" He was like, "A play?" It was like, "What did you do about it, Red?" He was like, "But they give me a part." So we were the only multicultural group in prison. Guys were writing. They were doing poetry. We had our own courtyard, right? And we kind of changed the energy, and that's what writing can do. It transforms the individual, but it transforms the energy in prison.